What's going on guys, Unknown Player here, and in this video we'll be talking about the future of Tess Everis and the items that she sells. The Festival of the Lost is now finished, which means we're probably a few weeks away from Tess selling some new items for us to buy, and I think I may have found some interesting clues as to what these items could be. So a while ago I was stood next to Tess while I was making videos, and when I went to pick up my controller I noticed her say something very interesting, which I'll play for you guys now.
Amanda wishes she could make sparrows like these.
So as you just heard, she says Amanda wishes she could make sparrows like these. If you don't know, the Amanda she's referring to is Amanda Holiday, who is the shipwright vendor in the tower, and she sells sparrows and also ships. Now Tess is implying that her sparrows are a lot better than the ones Amanda sells, and I think this is a massive hint that Tess will be selling sparrows in the future. And not only that, but I guess they're going to be really cool sparrows, because Tess seems to think that her ones are a lot better than the ones Amanda has, which should be easy because Amanda only sells those green uncommon ones, which are pretty uninteresting. Now that's not the only hint about Tess selling sparrows. When Tess Everis and her Eververse company first launched in Destiny, me and a few other YouTubers were sent a really cool Eververse package from Activision, and you can see the package here. It's got some cool postcards in it and a card talking about the Eververse company and some actual silver coins, which is pretty cool. At first I thought it was just a cool way to celebrate the launch, but each of these postcards seem to have a hint about the future of what Tess might sell, and I'll show you guys the postcards here, and you feel free to pause it if you want to read them in detail. But the idea about this whole thing is that Tess Everis' uncle, called Fenchurch Everis, he's a guardian who travels the universe to really far out places in the solar system where we've never been before, and he finds strange things and brings them back to the tower for Tess to sell, and that's their company, because the Eververse company is this thing that they both set up, and that is the backstory to this company and what it all means. So the first postcard is talking about him finding a strange tribe who communicates using gestures, and this is hinting towards the taunts and gestures which Tess first sold. This next postcard talks about him pretending to be something he's not and assuming a false identity. This, I think, is hinting about masks, which Tess recently sold at the Festival of the Lost event. And then this next postcard I find most interesting. He talks about his ship crashing on a planet, and he has to use sparrow parts that he had to build a special sparrow to escape the planet. And he said this means those sparrows I promised you will be a tad late. And he's talking to Tess in this postcard. So this is a massive hint that sparrows are on the way, and that those sparrow parts were intended for Tess to sell her own sparrows in the tower. And he also mentions at the end that they're going to be a tad late, which explains why Tess didn't sell them in the first place and why sparrows could be delayed. The last postcard just mentions him on his way to Jupiter for tea, and he's going to deliver his finds next time he visits the tower. I have no idea what he could be hinting at in this one, possibly something involving Jupiter, but I'm not too sure on that one. Now I could just be looking into this too much, but someone at Bungie actually sat down and wrote out all of these postcards and designed the cover art on the back of them, which Activision then sent out to YouTubers, and you don't do all of that for absolutely no reason. I feel like there must be some reason for this, and that is to subtly hint to the YouTubers that this is what Tess Everis is going to be selling in the future, and the hints all make sense. We have the taunts and gestures, which we got, we had the masks, which we got, and then we've also got this talk about sparrows that Tess was going to sell. And I think the main thing we can gather is that Tess is most definitely going to be selling sparrows in the near future. The postcards are hints, but what she said in the tower is pretty obviously suggesting she will sell sparrows. And I want to know from you guys, what do you think about that? And also what ideas for sparrows you think she could sell. I think it's personally a great idea because it's not a pay to win advantage, and sparrows are in this weird area because you don't get an advantage from them in any way, but they aren't exactly cosmetic either. I don't think I'd like it if she sold sparrows that were faster than the current ones, like the good old Timebreaker. I wouldn't like it if she sold one that was completely outclassing the Timebreaker, but I do think it would be perfect if the sparrows she sold had crazy colors and designs, like maybe like a rainbow trail and all crazy fancy stuff like that, or maybe even if they do cool tricks like the Tumbler did, and you could do like flips and spins and stuff like that. I think that would be perfect, and I could also see her selling ships and emblems and shaders as well in the future because they're just cosmetic. But like I've said before, she isn't going to sell engrams or weapons or anything you can get a pay to win advantage from. I don't think Bungie will ever let that happen, so I think we're safe in that regard. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Tess Everis selling sparrows, and how do you think they'll be different to the ones we currently have? Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, just a little speculation on my part about the future of Tess Everis. Drop a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys at the next one.